Mic check, 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 mic check. Here goes some first. Okay, yeah. Oh, you guys are gonna sit up there? Okay, right on. Okay. Button. Okay, that's okay. Relax. Okay, if you're gonna talk, it's gonna turn red, right? And then when you're gonna turn it off,
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Senate Chamber. We're happy to have you guys this morning. We're very excited. I understand you guys are from the Oleai Elementary School, right? Third graders. Are you happy to be here this morning? Yes. And we have water. You guys have your water? Great. You can drink your water if you're thirsty. It's okay. So I'm Senator Edith De Leon Guerrero. I am a senator for the island of Saipan, and the people of Saipan voted for me. And I'm also now the current sitting Senate president. And to my right, I'm going to have the senator introduce himself also.
Thank you, Madam President, and thank you, Oleai Elementary School staff, for bringing the students up here. I think this is a very good experience for them to understand the work of the legislature. And my name is Francisco Cruz. I'm a senator from the island of Tinian, the island south of Saipan. I'm voted in to represent the island of Tinian, and also to represent also the entire Commonwealth as a whole. So thank you again for coming up here to understand the work of the of each senators that we're doing here to represent the each island here in the Commonwealth. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Senator Cruz. And so, just a brief information for the Senate. We have 9 members, including myself. So there's 3 senators from Saipan, 3 from Tinian, and 3 from Rhoda. So, how many of you have been to Tinian? Oh, wow. Nice. Okay. You know, it's right next door. So if you ever have a chance to go there, you should go there just so you could see the difference between Saipan, Tinian, and if you get a chance, you can go to Rhoda as well, right? It's a nice hop away, airplane away, boat away. Okay, so what I want to do, I know you guys are running tight on your schedule this morning, and I know there's another group coming in after you guys, right? And so what we want to do is we want to open up the floor. We call this the floor, okay? So that you guys can ask questions to us and from us. And if you want to talk on the microphone, you can just press the button, and if it turns red, you can talk. And then when you're done talking, you just press the button again, and it'll go out to blue. Right. So if you have a question, you please raise your hands, and I'm going to recognize you. Anybody? It's open. Yeah. Okay. I see someone back there raising their hand. You can come up. You can come up and talk to the microphone. There's one over there. Sergeant at Arms, do we have an extra chair? Yeah, you can talk to the microphone, into the microphone, and tell me your name, and you can state your question. And we're going to try our best to answer you.
My name is Ryoma. And my question is, what makes the legislative branch an important branch?
Thank you so much for that. And what was your name again, son?
Ryoma.
Yeah. Vyoma. Ryoma. Okay. Nice to meet you. Well, let's start with this. Do you guys have your social studies class? You do? Or civics class? Okay. And so in your class, I'm sure your teacher would talk to you about the three branches of government, right? Okay. And do you know what that is? Okay. One of them is the legislative branch of government, and that is us. And why that's important? Because we have to make sure that there is a balance of power in the government between the executive branch, the legislative branch, and the judicial branch, right? And so the legislative branch, we work on legislation, we make decisions, we make policies, and then that's what we do. And then we deliberate on the bills that we do. And after we pass it here, it goes down to the House. There's two houses, by the way. There's the House and the Senate in the legislature. So we have our counterpart. That's where all your other classmates are at. They're at the House chamber. You guys are in the Senate right now. And so that is the reason why the legislative branch is important, is that we want to make sure that there is a balance of power between the executive, legislative, and the judicial branch. Does that answer your question? Okay, Senator Cruz, you want to chime in on that?
Yes, thank you, Madam President, and thank you for that question. Yes, the president is correct. There's three branches of government in the Commonwealth. I think also in any U.S. jurisdiction, and the legislature is to pass law. Once they pass law, it goes to the governor for his approval. Once it become law, the executive, they administer the law, and if somebody wants to challenge that law, it goes to the judicial for the judicial to interpret whether that law is a right law or is not whether it's a constitutional or unconstitutional. So the legislature pass law, the executive administer the law, and the judicial interpret the law. You understand that? So that's basically the role of the three branches of government. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Senator Cruz. You know, just like for conversation, like you guys are in school right now, right? So in our constitution, our CNMI constitution, it talks about to make sure that our citizens have the education opportunity. That's in our constitution, and that is the law of the land. And that's the reason why you guys are given the opportunity to have your education. So you think that's a good law? Wonderful. No objection, right? Right? We don't want to veto that, right? Okay. I just want to make sure. All right. We're open for any other question. Okay, come on up. Don't be shy. This is your chamber. State your name and your question. There you go.
My name is Hallie, and my question is, what is your favorite part about your job?
All right. If can you bring down your mask a little bit, my dear, and speak into the microphone? It was kind of like muffled. Yeah. Go ahead.
What's your favorite part about your job?
What's the hard part about the job? Oh, what's the favorite? Okay. Let me put it this way. I think helping the people is what makes the job important. And it talks about how you feel inside, whether you truly want to assist the people to have a better life. And looking at you guys, we think about your future and what we do here at the legislature in partnership with the executive branch is very important, that will shape the future of the Commonwealth. And primarily, you are the future generation, you are the future leaders. And what we do today is going to affect you in the future. And so that's one of the, the areas of the job that makes us consider why we run for office. If we truly desire to assist the people, then that's what is important in this kind of position. It's not about us. Senator, you can say something?
Thank you, Madam President. Yes, I agree with the President. I think this is the most important part of our job is to assist our people, make sure that we address the concern of our constituents. I understand that we might not uh, address 100%, but it makes us feel good when we address concerns, critical concerns that affecting our people on our island. I think that's very important part of our job. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Oh, wow. Let me recognize the clerk. You're sitting in the clerk's chair. Go ahead, clerk. Press the button.
Hi, my name is Jomel. My question is, how many hours do you guys spend working in the legislature?
That's a very good question. Okay. So let me explain how we get paid. Let's begin there. We are paid a set salary. Okay. And so that set salary does not limit our work hours. Basically, what it entails is we are working around the clock, 24/7. We are not paid by the hour. It's a very basic nominal salary that we are earning, which is only 32,000 a year. And if you calculate that, you guys take math, right? You want to do some math this morning? I'm going to teach you guys math. You take $32,000, right? 32,000 divided by how many work hours in a year? 2,080 hours. Guess what it is per hour that we're getting paid? $15.38. That's our hourly rate. But we work more than 8 hours a day because even if we're not here, we could be meeting on certain issues. We could be sitting somewhere and looking at legislations. We could be doing some research outside our chambers just so that we could have that open mind and quiet time to do our work. So our work hours is not limited to 8 hours a day. Hourly rate paid people are normally 8 hours a day, right? For us, we are paid a flat salary, so our hours are unlimited. Sometimes people go home at 5 o'clock. For us, sometimes we have meeting appointments after 5 o'clock in the evening. And so whenever that ends is whenever it ends. Senator Cruz, you want to share your work day too? Especially that you travel back and forth?
Thank you, Madam President. Actually, I myself, I see that it's unfair for the legislators to be receiving 32,000 a year. I don't receive any salary of the legislature because I'm a retired police officer. I'm receiving pension, so my salary goes to the cinema scholarship for anyone that I able to that program. And like I said, what the president was saying, my colleagues, my two other senators that are on salary are costing them so much, like the president said, the traveling back and forth and all the expensive that they're incurring here in the island of Saipan. So hopefully you understand that. Many says that the legislature has been paid high, but it's not high salary. I think the legislature in the government, the lowest paid here in the Commonwealth. I've been asked by many other islands in regards to the salary of the legislature, and it's very, it's the response to those people that say that asking question, saying that, oh, really, is that how low you guys get paid? But there's nothing we can do, but we're committed and devoted to help our people. That's why we're here. So it's not about the salary; it's about helping. But I just said earlier that it's not, it's that kind of salary is I believe it's not right for a legislators to be finding ways to help revive or rebound our ailing economy and helping our community, bringing better better Commonwealth, and better services to our island, and assisting all the agencies in making sure that the budget that they need to address critical issues and services to our people. So legislatures are very much committed to do all those, although the salary is very low. So I think that that student that raising that question, we cannot just keep saying to the public what we have, what salary we're getting paid, because like I said, and the president mentioned that it's not about the salary. But I hope that the committee understand that. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Senator Cruz. By the way, when we have our Senate session, the president will always recognize the senator that raises their hand to make a comment. And then after they make their comment or statement on the floor, we always express, thank you, Senator. That's just a protocol on during session. So thank you for your question, clerk. Anybody else? Okay. Right there in the white mask. Yes, go ahead, please.
How many years of school have you gone through?
That's how many years of school did you gone through? Have you gone through? You know, it's funny that you asked that question because I'm going to tell you something that struck me this morning driving up here on the hill. I said, "Wow, it's been a long time since I went to school and I had to wake up very early to go to school." And so I'm sure you guys like wake up 5:30, 6 o'clock, right? And for how many years? I'll tell you how old I am. I am almost 60 years old. And so if you imagine, when do you start going to school? Maybe at the age of 4, 5, or 6, right? And throughout the years, those are the number of years you went to school. But guess what? Learning is a never ending process, right? Even at this point in our life, as we age, you guys are still very young and energetic. We learn every day too, because like I said earlier, the kind of work we do, we read a lot, we research a lot, we engage in meetings and sessions. And so that's also part of the learning process. Does that answer your question? Okay. Senator Cruz, how many years did you go to school? And you don't have to tell your age, Senator Cruz.
I think I complete the whole high school, and those are the years that I went to school. But this is what important. Sometimes when we go to school, we know that we're going to school to learn, and it's very important. Important that you make sure that you learn, you maximize all the opportunity. Learn from your teacher, learn from your parents, because that learning will bring you a better life in the future when you grow up. Education is very important. Nowadays, sometimes they say, even though we go to school, when we come back, we don't have a good job. No, that's not really correct to hear something like that. Education, putting knowledge in your head will help you in your future, in your life. When you build a family, you have a great job. You can have, you know, anything that you dream from this age. When you grow up, you can fulfill that. Nothing is impossible. The only thing that is making things that it's making not possible is you don't want to do it. You don't want to devote yourself in educating yourself and getting so much knowledge, so that whenever you apply in any kind of job that you like, you can be able to get that job because you are an educated person. That's why education is very important. Listen to your parents. Sometimes we think that, no, we don't have to go to school, or we don't have to learn. But believe me, we came from that, and what growing up is giving us hard time when we sometimes we don't listen to our parents. And good thing that we have this government system at that time, that the president, they gave the government employees an opportunity to learn more when they're in that job category that they're holding. But I believe nowadays, They don't do that. That's why it's very important that you guys go to school, learn as much as possible, because that's for you. It's not for anybody. It's for you, for your future. So I ask that you listen to your parents, to your teacher, and if you need help, ask your parents, ask your teacher to help you in whatever they. I know there's a lot of nowadays. There's a lot of homeworks, right? Teachers give you homework, right? You know why? Because they want you guys to learn more, to understand more of what you guys are doing in school. So even my daughter, sometimes she will give me a headache of helping her, but I have no choice because I want her to learn more, because that's for her future. So bear with the teacher and bear with your parents. Okay? Thank you. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Senator. Anybody else with your questions? Okay, right there. Go ahead, please.
My name is Sophia, and my question is, what is one part of your job you would like to change?
Bring your mask out, please. Thank you.
What is one part of your job you'd like to change?
You know, wow, that is a very, very interesting question. What is one part of my job that I would like to change? You know, if only we could stay younger, right? So that we can continue to serve the people. Maybe that's what it is. The desire to help and to make it better for our Commonwealth and for the future generation is, I'm speaking for myself, it's so ingrained in my heart that how much I wish that in the position that we are holding right now, that we have more time in our lifetime to do more that we could. You know, unfortunately, all of us are aging in life and we can only do so much in our lifetime, including your teachers. They're there for you, but they're also, getting older in life and eventually they're going to retire from work, right? And they're going to move on and other people will move in. But I wish we had all the money too in the Commonwealth so that we could make it a lot much better for our people. Currently, as we speak, I'm sure you guys are probably also reading the newspapers, right? Or maybe sometimes you hear mom and dad talk about it in the house. We are addressing a lot of issues to make sure that we work hard in making our economy better and stronger so that we could generate more revenues for our Commonwealth, so that we could also give some of the money to the public school system where you guys are being educated at. Senator Cruz, want to share some thoughts on that?
Thank you, Madam President. I guess you said it all, but let me just. I know that we're being hit by multiple super typhoon, right? And that makes our economy go down, and then followed by this bad pandemic. And I wish that never happened, because when this incident, this calamity happened, it makes our economy, our government, our private sectors, it give them hard time employment, especially employment in our community. I wish that never happened, because, like the president said, our job here should to do our best to find ways to alleviate the hardship that our government employees and the general public are having. Um, I wish that the government will not be in 72 hours, but we don't have any choice. But we have to bear with whatever we have right now. And I ask the understanding of the all those that are going to be affected on this, because I wish this will never happen. But as a result of all those, we're here, and we don't have any choice but to continue to find ways to for the legislatures and all the branches of government to work together, and most especially the members of the community work together as a whole to find ways, ideas, good ideas in helping one another to alleviate the hardship. So those are the things that also are affecting us as a legislature. But we'll continue to do our very best to work both the lower house and the upper house to find ways to to help our Commonwealth as a whole. So thank you, and thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Senator. Any other questions? Okay, right there, the one in the orange band. Go ahead, please. Come on up.
What what do legislative branch do when they discuss something?
Okay. What do we do when we discuss bills? Yeah, that's a perfect question. You know, when we look at a bill, even before it's created, it takes a lot of thought process. Okay. And so, what I mean by that is, as elected officials, we're constantly thinking of what kind of legislation we want to introduce, or what are the existing legislation that we feel needs a little bit of fixing to make it better. And so, when that is done and introduced, there's a committee in the Senate. There's many different committees, and wherever that bill goes to, that committee, the members, they call their own meeting and they discuss the bill to make it better. Not only that, they seek public comments from other people that may be affected by the legislation. And then they bring that in and they read the comments from the other people. It could be different government departments. It could be an ordinary citizen that wants to write a comment, including yourselves. It could be a private sector company that, saw the bill and they want to make a comment on it. That's why we call it public comment. And so we deliberate all the issues discussed, and then we insert certain changes if necessary based on those comments and based on the discussions of the committee. And when the committee is done, they make the recommendation for the whole body whether they want to pass the bill or table the bill. When they table the bill, that means they don't recommend for it for passage. So it does not go beyond the Senate if it's introduced here in the Senate. Senator Cruz?
Thank you, Madam President. In addition to what the President have said, what we do with the bill that we introduce, yes, it goes to the committee level. And like the President said, it goes to different agencies, like most importantly, it goes also to the Attorney General, just to alleviate going there without without the committee getting a comment from them, and it might go there, and the AG might tell the governor to just veto the bill. So it's important to get comment from them to see the opinion of the AG, but not necessarily that, because we have lawyers here also that reviews bill. So if we feel that we don't agree with the opinion, then we'll just go ahead and pass it, and it's up to the governor whether to sign it into law or agree with the opinion of the AG to veto. Veto means to kill the bill. It's not going to become a law. And our role is to join with the lower house and see if they can agree to override. Override means we can override the decision of the governor, or we can bring it before the court. That's why we mentioned earlier 3 branches of government. We can bring it to court and certify question so that the judicial can interpret whether that law is a good law or not a good law. So that's how the process is. So I hope that answers your question. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Senator. So before I take the next question, I'm gonna make you guys participate, because we need help also up here. We need to know what you guys are thinking about with respect to legislation, right? And so anybody, tell us, what kind of law do you think we should introduce or work on? And then I'm going to call it out for all of you to see whether you all agree or not. Okay. You see, that makes you now come into participation of what we also do up here, right? We think about it, we deliberate about it, and we ask ourselves, is this a good idea? Maybe not a good idea. So you guys are thinking? You have a law that you think we should work on? Please tell us.
I I think um I think people should stop throwing beer or beer beer cans and trash on the beach. I would always see that when me and my family go to the beach.
Okay, that's a fantastic thing that you noticed that. We do have already in law the Anti-Littering Act. Yeah. Right, Senator? And anybody else would, I mean, that's fantastic. Continue to be very, observant of your surroundings so you can tell people, please pick up your trash, right? Keep our islands clean. Anybody else, do you have an idea what kind of law we should introduce? Okay, the one at the very back. Please come and tell us what kind of law you want us to introduce and work on. Please come on up. We need help.
Um what happens when you work and what happens when you don't work? Oh. Like a bad law? Oh.
I think I'm going to make that a law.
How about when you see something like trash in the beach, like cans or plastic, you can pick it up. And when you see someone, you can help them.
Yes, when we see trash around, right? We want to make sure we pick it up, even though it's not our trash. And if we see people trashing the place, we kindly tell them, please kindly pick up your trash, right? You can take it home with you after you have your recreational activity, or there's a trash can over there that you could place your trash into, right? We all care for our environment. Senator Cruz, what do you think?
I think we should go green on zero waste for the island of or the island of the Kamu. That will help. I know that someone introduced legislation to stop shopping plastic bag, because all plastics are killing our environment, our marine life, and also the life on island. And I think we should start looking into the same as in Guam, that zero plastic, just recyclable materials. So I think that would be a good idea. And I wanna include in the process of the legislation that I didn't mention earlier. Once the bill passes both houses, meaning they both the House of Representatives and the Senate agree to that legislation, it goes to the governor. On a regular legislation, it takes if the governor didn't sign it within 45 days, it becomes law anyway. And for appropriation mean to pass money, appropriation means funding money. If you don't act on that within 20 days, then it becomes a law anyway. So those are the process. If the governor did not act on it within that grace period, it becomes law. So that's the process of the legislation that was mentioned by the student that raised question on legislation. So that's the process of the law. If they on a regular, a simple legislation that is not a funding legislation or a appropriation, it's 45 days. If the governor didn't sign, it becomes law. And for any appropriation, it's 20 days. If you don't sign within 20 days and pass that 20 days, it becomes law without the signature of the governor. You guys understand that? And I think when you grow up and you take government history, you will see that in that what you call this, in that book. So I hope you understand what I just mentioned. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Senator Cruz. And I do want to answer the other question from the student about what happens when we work and what happens when we don't work. And so what happens when we work, we, like I said earlier, we are either looking at legislations, thinking about legislations, researching online, having meetings, discussing issues that we could address and possibly turn it into a legislation. And what happens when we don't work? I'm going to speak for myself. I like to sit down and read a book. I like to read subject matters of interest to me. Um, I like to be informed about what's happening outside the Commonwealth with other regions of the world to see how their events would also affect us in this area of the world. I like to be informed in that way because we are policymakers, and whatever happens outside of the Commonwealth will affect us. You see what happened when COVID-19 happened, right? It affected us. Everything shut down, right? What happens if there's a shortage of shipping, for example? I'm sure you guys probably read about that, right? It affected us because all the containers that travel on the ship, on the ocean, and they come this way, it takes longer to get to us because there were strikers, workers outside in different countries. They're on a strike because they don't want to work, because they want to get paid more money. So things like that, we watch. I myself personally, I like to keep, focus on other jurisdictions and other issues so that we become prepared as legislators, that we are aware of what's happening outside our community that would possibly affect our Commonwealth and that affects the lives of our people, including you. Senator?
Thank you, Madam President. Actually, if you're asking the legislature what happens when you work and what happens when you don't work, I think members of the legislature, they always work. They don't have to come to the office to work. They work outside because I believe, and I stand to be corrected. I believe the members of the legislature, they don't have annual leave or sick leave. Not like the regular employees, not like the the LB employees. If they don't work, they have to apply for leave, because if they don't apply for leave, they don't get paid. But the legislature, they don't have those. So any members of the legislature, when you see out in the community, they always do something to find ways to find ideas, revenue generation ideas and other ideas that affecting the community, the precinct, the senatorial district. So they always work. It looks like they're not working. If they go to the store, maybe you might think they're shopping, but yeah, but they always think of something to bring up, to bring some kind of legislation to address their constituents' concern. But we always work like the president. The president said that if he didn't work, he would read books, and giving her idea, knowledge of how to think forward, find ways to alleviate all this hardship that will help our community. And I know, like I mentioned earlier, in regards to lowered hours. I know that PSS is not part of that, but the students, their parents, are some of them are going to be affected. That's why I mentioned that we will try our very best, and I wish that this never happened. The multiple typhoon and pandemic and some other issues. I wish that never happened. That will bring the hours down to 72. But we're still working hard to find ways, and we're still, hoping that that our tourists will continue to come and give us more revenue so that we can continue to help our community and also the government employees. So I thank you for that question. Thank you, Madam President.
You're welcome. I want to tell you guys that when we talk about we want to work towards generating more revenues, the word revenue is money. That's what we're talking about here. And our desire is we want to make sure that you, all of you in your home, mom and dad, is able to generate that income so that they can provide for your needs and the family. We deeply desire that you guys have a better life, that you have a better education, that you guys have beautiful parks to go to and play, that you can go to the store and buy what you want because mom and dad is able to produce that income, right? We want to make sure that you guys, as you grow up, that you're able to buy something that you want. Maybe you want to buy a bicycle, right? Or a skateboard or a roller skate or nice clothes and school supplies and things like that. We're constantly thinking about those every day, sitting up here at the legislature or when we're out and about. We're always keeping an eye out for your good, for your interests, because we know what's going on. And it is our responsibility to work closely with the executive branch. That's the other branch of government, right? That is the governor's office, to come up with ideas of how can we make it better for our commonwealth. How can we attract other companies to come our way? How can we attract new money to come into our economy so that our life here can be much better, so that we could also have better roads, right? Maybe we can have bathrooms at the beach sites, right? You guys go to the beach, right? Don't you agree? We need to have those toilet facilities, and it takes money to fix those things. And so we're constantly thinking about all of that. And sincerely, I want you guys to know we truly care. We care about you. You are the future of our commonwealth. And we pray that in the future, maybe not all, but maybe some of you will be sitting in this chair as a senator for the Commonwealth. What do you think about that? Yes. I want to clap my hands to that. So, who's going to be the next Senate president? At the very end of this row, what is your question? You? Yeah? You? Mm-hmm. And press the button. Go ahead.
Do you guys face? Do you guys? Do you guys pay the future?
Huh? Do we? Oh, do we pay for your field trip?
No, future.
Do we pray or pay? Pay? Pay for the future? Okay. Hmm. All right. I guess it depends how we see the future, right? And so whatever we do today affects the future. Whatever decision we do today and make today affects the future. And the future is tomorrow, right? Every day is a special day. You go to sleep at night, you wake up the next day, and that's already your future, right? You're probably in the third grade. I think you're around what? 8, 9 years old. Let me ask you guys. I want to ask them this question. Do any of you ever think about your future? How do you see yourself in the future? Like maybe some of you are seeing yourself maybe you become a doctor, maybe a police officer, maybe a carpenter, maybe a master board skater, right? Maybe the champion of a competition, right, Senator? Yeah, when I was your age, I'm sure the senator can agree with me. I always wonder what I'm going to be in the future. Guess what I want it to be in the future during your time? I wanted to fly those fast jets. I wanted to become a pilot. Yeah. I always watched the show and I said, I want to be in that cockpit. I want to fly high in the sky, because it's like an open highway. That was my future. But that didn't work out because my grandma said, no, you're not going to fly. Then I said, okay, then I'll become a stewardess. No, 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 you're still in the air. You're not going to fly. You're going to be on the ground. I said, okay, but not underwater. Not a master scuba diver. But that's the future. Yes. You always have to plan for your future. We're going to take the last question. I know you guys are ending up your time. And so maybe someone in the back, the yellow stripe, the boy there, the one that's raising your hand with the stripe on your shirt. There you go. That's you. The Michael Jordan jacket. Yeah.
Is is it easy to be a senator?
Okay, Senator Cruz, I'll make you answer that first. Is it easy to be a senator?
I think nothing is easy in life. We have to be devoted and committed to do what we want to do. And is it easy to be a senator? No, it's not easy. It's not easy. But we are devoted to help our constituents, our community, our island, our Commonwealth. It's not an easy job because at the end of the day, even though you're doing good, they'll blame you for everything. But you have to accept those blame because we cannot control people out there. We cannot tell them, or we cannot satisfy everyone 100%. That's why it's not an easy job. But we're here because we are devoted, we're committed to help our Commonwealth and our people, and most especially our public school system for you guys to be well educated by the institution, by your school. But it's not an easy job to be a senator. I've been a senator for 13 years. I've went through all kinds of criticism, but I'm still devoted to continue to help. That's my desire, is to continue to help. Ever since I was a police officer, I want to help. Instead of putting people in jail, I want to, give them an advice and try to make them believe that there's a lot of opportunity to be a good abiding citizen. Not just because the person commit a crime, you're just gonna put them in jail. I advise them, I counsel them. The same thing as here in the legislature. We have to bear with the criticism and respond to those criticism in a positive way. So it's not it's not easy to be a senator. So thank you for that question.
Okay, so I
Thank you,
think
Madam
we're going to close up with my response. I know time is running. And so I agree with the senator. It is not easy to be a public official, whether we are a sitting senator or a sitting representative in the House. We have to be thick skinned to take public criticism. Similarly, I want to impart with you at school, right? They always teach you anti bully, right? Don't be a bully. And that means make sure that you have thick skin when criticisms are coming your way. Because if you allow criticism to bring you down, then you're the only one that's going to suffer. So always bear in mind that you are special, that somebody loves you, that you have a future, and that you have a dream to fulfill because you saw the future, that you want to be somebody, right? You may be young right now, 9, 10 years old, but before you know it, you're going to be 15 years old. You'll be driving a car. You'll be working and helping mom and dad. And you'll be 25. And then you'll be 30. And then you're going to look back and say, wow, I remember I was up at the legislature and I sat there with Senator Edith and Senator Cruz. And look where I am today. So I want you guys to move on, be positive, be nice to people, be nice to yourself, most importantly, and love yourself, okay? Because we care about you and we want you guys to have the best of life. Sounds good? Wonderful. Thank you for coming and visiting with us. Thank you. We can take a quick group picture.